let's first go right here to the wooded valley. We're almost done. All of these friendly Sholai told us of how mad Trajkov had become. Okay, then never mind. Sniff. That's right. Alright, Sniff. Such a funny name. But like I said, it reminds me of some of the names that you find in like the old Norse sagas and what have you, mythology. Names like Snot. It's like, what? You name your daughter Snot? But then again, that probably doesn't mean what it means like Treplip. Oh, well. Trade? Do we have anything to trade with him? Since we're here, I guess. Nope. Alright. That's not who I need to talk to. I went to Treplip because I'm used to coming here to trade, but we want to talk to Astroff. Okay, are you aware that I have killed Trajkov? I am glad. You have done, yes, you have done the good thing. I think world better place, with more peace now. And now we should meet your people, truly as friends. There is a boat. I wish you would go to boat now. Tell your people we are here. Then maybe our mission can truly happen. Alright. Where is the boat? I'm glad you asked, and I hope you use it. I will tell you that we have one boat left, a small wood one, in a dock northeast of Kaz. Alright, cool. Right, well, we did what we had promised to do for him, and that was to defeat Trajkov. Because the Sholai here were on a mission, a diplomatic mission, to try to explore, find new peoples, make, alliances and friendships with them, not take their secrets and overthrow everything. So, yeah. Now let's go. We could tell the takers, but I don't think they'll be happy, and I'm not going to rub that in their faces. That's just not nice. Refugee cave, yes. Let's tell Masha. Masha, you killed your unruly, nasty, unfriendly boss who was killing all your friends. Acting crazy. Hopefully these Sholai don't get just killed by the Shapers. I don't know. We'll see. Alright. I think you should know, Trajkov is dead. I have killed him. Great news, great hope, such good, thank you. Now please, Shaper, go to boat is northeast at small dock. Go there and take boat and go to your people. Tell them we want peace. Tell them we deal square with them. Thank you, Shaper, for ending crimes of Trajkov. Hopefully soon peace can come of it. Alrighty. Wow. Alright, well, good luck to you. I hope things work out. Sholai are like, hopefully this works. I hope so too. Hopefully Trajkov wasn't right and we don't all just get, we get killed for knowing too much and they get killed for being, outsiders in our secrets. Okay, let's go off and go back on. There we are. Alright, back to the docks. Now, after all this time, our mission is about to end. And by mission, I mean this strange, odyssey through a strange, forbidden land, a land out of time, from the past, where great power was found and great power could have been seized, but we chose to preserve order and balance. Hopefully, we will not be punished for it. I don't think our creations can come with us. At the end of the dock, you find a small wooden boat. It has several pairs of oars. It is a small craft, only large enough for a few people, and the mast is not even erected. Only a small loop of rope holds the boat to the dock. You could free it, and be away from Sucia Island in but a moment. Now, finally, if you want, you can go home. Should we? Or should, you know what? I had one more thought. Now let's, okay, well, I did it anyways. Darn it. You get into the boat and release the rope. Then you grab the oar and push off from the dock. It will be difficult to erect the mast and figure out how the sails work, but you are confident you will be up to the task. This is a Sholai boat, not a Shaper boat. Shapers don't use regular sailing boats like we do, which the Sholai also use. They use living crafts. There is no room on the small boat for any creations. And so you depart alone. The products of your skills wait behind on the docks, watching you as you leave. Oh man, I hope they're okay. Soon, Sucia Island starts to recede in the distance. You have escaped. However, an uncertain future lies ahead of you. Oh my. Here we are. Look at that. That is a small boat. Oh, they weren't kidding. That is tiny. I think one Fiora should have been fit, but nonetheless, I don't have any Fioras. With difficulty, you pilot the small craft away from the dock. It's an awkward process at first. You have never piloted a sailboat before. Still, after some trial and error, you're able to get the wind to catch the sails, and you depart Sucia Island at last, setting course for the mainland. The island was not as remote as you imagined it. It was only about 50 miles from the nearest Shaper settlement. 50 miles and 2 centuries. Oh, wow, what a time. That's so crazy. But in a day, you arrive at the coastal settlement of Delame. There are a dozen Shapers there working to tame this wild coast, populate it with friendly fauna, and make it safe for settlement. They eagerly greet you, curious about where you came from, and so you tell them. This is what Shapers are usually doing. Working to remake the world, make the wild places and the barren places full of balanced and friendly ecosystems capable of settlement. So they're eager to greet Evodius here. And where did you come from? Until you tell them. Watch what happens. The Shapers, they look like a grim lot. The Shapers know that Sucia Island was barred and that you were there. Their reaction is immediate. They seize you and shackle you. They put you on a boat and take you to the Shaper Council. After a few weeks in a cell, the interrogation begins. They ask you about, and you reveal every one of your actions on Sucia Island. You tell them of the Sholai, the servile colonies, and the Geneforge. You tell them of Trajkov, the outsider who was rapidly mastering the Shaper secrets, and how, with great difficulty and risk, you slew him. I would say it was more difficult to get strong enough to be able to slay him, but slaying him was actually very easy. You also tell them about the Geneforge and how you destroyed it to keep its power forever out of dangerous hands. You wait in the cell for a few more weeks while they send a contingent of agents to investigate Sucia Island. Eventually, they find that things were much as you said. The Shapers are impressed by your bravery and integrity, and you're released from imprisonment after you swear an oath to always keep secret what you found there. The Sholai and the serviles who were tampering with Shaper secrets are all slain. Kaz is razed to the ground. All the rest of the Sholai are brought to the council. Ooh. Poor takers. Now does that mean that, oh my mouse is, does that mean all the serviles? Or just the takers? I don't know. The friendly Sholai were brought to the council though. Long delayed, the diplomacy between the Sholai and the Shapers begins. The Sholai Council is impressed by how well the surviving Sholai resisted the temptation of their secrets, and your people and theirs begin a long and profitable relationship. Now, see, while I don't think Trajkov was entirely wrong about the Shapers, he was wrong to this degree. The Shapers were willing to, they do respect, Evodius and the other Sholai who resisted seizing power for themselves. As for you, you began your apprenticeship at last. Organized training, combined with the raw power you gain on Sucia Island, make you a shaper of renowned and incredible skill. Several major new colonies are established under your guidance. You are respected, but you are also feared. The Shapers never truly and completely trust you. They are afraid of the effects Sucia Island they are afraid of the effects of Sucia Island on you. The taint of the barred island never truly leaves you. You become powerful and influential and wealthy, and even one day you are the first Shaper to visit the lands of the Sholai. But the highest levels of Shaper society are always closed to you. Wherever you go, there are worried looks and whispers. You have a good life, a productive life, but you always wonder what might have been. Yep, you have a great life, and that's really cool. You, in a sense, become a Shaper diplomat, which is actually really cool. Very cool, in as much as the Shallow Lands are cold. But yeah, so not a bad thing. Back on Sucia Island, the various servile villages struggled to continue as best they could. When the histories of these turbulent times are written, they mention a few details about the minor players of the great drama. In Valkyrie, Elra saw that without the help of the Geneforge, his hopes for forging the independence of his people were dwindling. Though he was, in his way, a rebel, he was also a realist. The Shapers swarmed Sucia Island. Horrified by the threat they had narrowly averted, they searched the island, looking for other dangerous secrets or hidden caches of old technology. When the Shapers arrived, Elra, not wanting to force a confrontation, led his people into hiding. For months they hid in the woods and wastes, avoiding the Shapers as best they could. When the Shapers left and barred the island once again, they returned to Valkyrie. They continued to live and struggle, isolated and dreaming of independence. They remained hungry, poor, constantly in danger, and free. Now, if you look at this right quick, I just want to point this out. These three serviles, see their long noses? Interesting. But anyways, they represent the three different sects of the serviles. This servile here with the frown and the more or less erect posture is, with the sword, is a taker. He's a free servile, and not only that, he's armed, just going to take up the fight against the Shapers. This one in the middle is a obeyer. He's not armed because he's not going to fight the Shapers, but he also is submissive and obedient. And this, of course, is an awakened. He is not submissive like the taker, the obeyer, so he stands erect, but he's also not hostile like the taker, so he does not have his sword here. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, the Elra is kind of a realist, so they hid, and then they came back and lived in a poor life, dreaming of independence. When the Shapers searched Sucia Island, they found the Obeyers. At first, they were worried about these strange, rather independent creations. Then they met Rydell. In time, the Shapers found how loyal the Obeyers had been, and under very difficult circumstances, it was a new experience for them. They were used to loyalty, but had never seen creations who were loyal because they chose to be. The Obeyers were brought before the Shaper Council for careful examination. They were given new rules then. Serviles trained by Rydell and his people were placed in charge of other, dumber serviles. Their patient and loyal guidance provided a useful and humane buffer between Shapers and their creations. The Obeyers were loyal enough to be trusted, but kind and intelligent enough to treat creations of all sorts with empathy. When Rydell finally reached his deathbed, he looked back on his life with great satisfaction. He always felt relieved to be the one who saw his people to be rewarded for their great labors. When the Shapers went to Sucia Island to investigate, they found the takers. They were completely surprised by the level of rebellion and hatred in the serviles of Kazg. They were not so surprised, however, that they did not act. Norrell tried to lead the fight against the Shapers, the battle her people had long prepared for, and they found they were completely overmatched. The combination of battle betas and disciplined wands soon settled the issue. Ugh. cause was raised. The takers were destroyed. Nora was captured and carefully inspected for biological sources of her rogue status and then slain. The Shapers were highly worried about the intensity of the takers' rogue behavior. They suppressed any information about the takers and what they believed. Within a handful of years, they were forgotten. The finest flowering of powerful arts of the Shapers took place on Sucia Island. The Shapers, however, could not control the power they created. They tried to harness it, then when they tried to hide it, then they tried to forget it, then it came back to haunt them. Eventually, the tumult caused by the rediscovery of the Geneforge died down, but the secrets and potential were known. Even after it was gone, people knew that it could be. The story grows quiet but does not end. You cannot unring a bell. The end. Wow. And there we have. That is Geneforge 1. Wow, that's incredible. Man, talk about that was a game right there. Now, if you do the different endings, it changes things, it changes things up, how the Shaper Council deals with you or responds to you, or what happens to the different groups of serviles, the servile communities, whether you side with Trajkov, whether you don't, whether you use the Geneforge, whether you do not, whether you allow Gesh to use the Geneforge, whether you don't. All those things can have different effects on the ending. This is kind of the sort of the standard ending. It's probably the closest ending to what actually is considered canon in the starting events of Geneforge 2. None of the endings in Geneforge 1 actually match exactly. And as we'll see in Geneforge 2, things actually go a lot worse for the serviles on Sucia Island than the endings here imply, or the endings here say. I don't know. I wonder if this game was initially intended to be a standalone that then Jeff Vogel decided to make a sequel for. It's a great game. Geneforge 2 is excellent, and we're going to be playing it next to replace Geneforge 1 with Geneforge 2, and it's a great game, and it's quite a bit different, and I don't know, it's a cool one. Well, I really enjoyed playing this. I've never beaten this game before. Like I said, I got all the way to Trajkov, but I never I couldn't make up my mind whether to join him or defeat him. So here we are. And if you enjoyed this game, I recommend getting it off of GOG or whatnot. It's very cheap. You can get either the new version of Geneforge 1, which is called Geneforge 1 Mutagen, and it's like $15 or $20, and it's really cool looking. It's upgraded. It's much more modern, a lot more options, what have you. But it's different in some ways, but it's basically the same game. Or if you want to play the whole Geneforge saga now and not have to wait, for 10, 20 years, however long it's going to take him to remake the whole thing, I don't know. Because he usually, I think Jeff Vogel, he works on making one new game, and then he goes and remakes an old game. Makes on one new game, he alternates. He just finished Geneforge 1 remake, so now he's going to be working on a new game of something else. So then the one after that should be Geneforge 2 remake, which would be really cool. But if you want to play the saga that's available now, you can get them all 5 games for like $15 on GOG. They're probably on Steam as well. I don't know. And it's a great deal, $3 a game, and that's not even on sale. Awesome series, and they get better, like technically, as they go along. So a lot of people, this is their favorite of the series. There's something of that, the fresh discovery at all, and it's a really cool setting about this land that's lost to time, and a separate timeline almost developing. And you go there, and you're out of time for a long time, and then you come back to the regular world, the main world, and it's like, oh man, any number of things can happen. So yeah, I don't know. I have really enjoyed playing this, and I hope you enjoyed watching this with me. So if you enjoyed this playthrough, please leave some comments. Let me know. Let me know what you think about Geneforge. And if you have not yet and you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys all in Geneforge 2 here on my channel, Idle Wisdom. Take care, y'all.